Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host Tone Vase. Trying to do more of these. I mean, we're at a very critical point in the price of Bitcoin. The news show will be back tomorrow morning with Leah, and hopefully Giacomo stays on. We will have Jimmy back probably in a week or two. He's busy traveling, doing his seminar. So we will come back with the morning show. So that also means I have no idea what news happened in Bitcoin over the last 24 hours. And by tomorrow morning, I'll have no idea what news happened in Bitcoin over the previous 48 hours, which is why we do the morning news show where I get to catch up on the latest news myself. So we are going to go to Bitcoin. I will not be doing a trading Bitcoin video tonight. If I do a video tonight, it's going to be all about the traditional markets. I know I got a bunch of work calls. I'm going to be, anyway, I'll find the time. I don't know how late that video is going to be. Might be like at midnight or 1 a.m. Today, but I am planning to do a traditional market video. But then I'm on the road for 6 weeks. So we'll see if that amounts to anything in the traditional markets. I'm also going to be joining Vortex's show, Bitcoin News. So maybe I'll catch up on my news that way. And that's coming to you 3 p.m. Eastern time, noon Pacific time. So I will be on the World Crypto Network later today. All right, let's go to screen share, see what we got. Actually, let me close this. So I did turn off comments to my YouTube videos, and I feel so much better. I was able to wake up this morning and not have to go and spend 20-30 minutes deleting scammers and spammers from the bottom of my YouTube channel. So this is great, actually. It 95% of those comments were totally useless anyway, so it just feels so much better. Okay, let's see what we got here. My usual disclaimer, since this is a Trading Bitcoin show, please learn trading. You can check it out on my website, which I will be updating sometime this year, by the way. Educational tools, learn trading, and all of these resources are here for free. I focus on section 6 because that's more advanced stuff that I really like. Please check out all of these links if you are curious what are those numbers above and below my candles. If you want those numbers above and below your candles as well, please check out the consulting section, which I still need to update slightly. And if you need to see me live in person to explain it to you, please check out the trading seminar section. Still not that much interest in Vancouver. So feel free to reach out if you're in the Northwest. The entrance fee to my seminars has greatly dropped because I'm still charging 0.1 Bitcoin, which now costs significantly less than it did 2 months ago. San Francisco is doing well, and the other 3, Austin, Toronto, and Miami. Again, please reach out because if my attendance is low, then I really don't have a reason to do these because clearly there is no market demand anymore. So we'll see. I will scale with demand. Maybe I'll come back down to once a month like I initially planned on. But when I started selling the rest out, thought more were needed. So we'll see. I'll just scale them back. And there's details all through here, including how to get in contact with me. But a sign up website is coming hopefully soon. All right. Conferences. I'll be speaking at Block to the Future on some warship in San Francisco, April 4th. My seminar will be April 7th. Well, April 4th through 6th. I'm not sure what day I'm speaking on. My seminar will be the following day, April 7th, and then April 11th and 12th. Pretty sure it's April 11th because April 12th I have to be in Austin, Texas. So April 11th, I'll be speaking at Frontier along with Andreas Antonopoulos and a bunch of other people. And check it out. I'm right there. Gonna talk about why Bitcoin's important, history of Bitcoin, things like that. Okay, that's it. Let's go to the price. Here's the weekly chart. We are not looking that much better on a weekly scale. I woke up this morning, I saw about 77.50. So I knew that we had bounced off of 76. and we're not bouncing all that strongly, right? This is probably potentially the most disastrous candle I wanted to see. So as of tomorrow, in 12 hours from now, there could definitely be, a short opportunity on a long-term scale. Now, do keep in mind that the 50-week moving average, which has been somewhat useful in the past and fairly, look, we've stayed above the 50-day moving average on a weekly scale for a long time. We went above it in October of 2015. And that's 2.5 years we spent above the 50-day moving average. That's very impressive. You don't want to fall below that 50-week moving average, because the daily fell below the 50-day moving average, and it got pretty bad once we did. We fell below the 50-day moving average on January 11th. We did go back above it for a couple of weeks, giving us a potential bull trap, which I was clearly able to avoid because of numerous things. You can even see the time indicator helped me out greatly here, right? People make fun of this indicator, but it helped me out a lot avoiding this trap, and also the declining trend line also helped out a lot, plus a reversal candle. So this combination, I was able to warn my followers and those watching this channel that you need to be really careful here, and Bitcoin should pull back. Now, I expected it to pull back to the 50-day moving average and then go back up and break it, but it didn't. So you got to adjust to that. We fell below the 50-day moving average. We tested the 50-day moving average textbook perfectly from the downside and got rejected by the 50-day moving average. And we did form another one of these nines for a potential 1 to 4 candle correction and then back down. Now, the correction was actually even weaker than I anticipated it to be. I did not expect this correction as of the 15th of this month to be something that's going to take us all the way back to new all-time highs. I expected this correction to be more of a dead cat bounce for most likely more downside. I had two potential bullish targets, one going back into the def cross and the 50-day moving average at about 9,300. That's why I drew this green arrow. If we were able to muster the strength to go above that, I was going to give it as high as 10,000, because we would have ran into this declining trend line that's forming the symmetric triangle. The rebound, while it looked good on the first day and started looking good on the second day, on the 16th of March, had absolutely no strength, no momentum, and we fell down immediately. The moment you go back down, at this point right here, I'm actually not sure I don't have a red line there. At this point right here, well, I know why I don't have a red line there. At this point right here, you got a double problem. First of all, you are now trading below your 9-arrow reversal, which means that this 9 is no longer considered a reversal. It's considered the start of a downtrend and not the end of one. The moment you start trading right here, right there, okay? You're trading below that 9. And in addition, at that same exact point, you have a candle with a red number. This was yesterday's candle. You have a candle with a red number trading below the candle of the day before, which also has a red number on it. So in this case, we have a red 3, a bearish 3, trading below the bearish 2. That's very weak. Now, the one thing that prevented me from screaming short, short, short is because not soon below that, we have double support of 7,600 and the increasing trend line. Okay, so we have double support right there. That means Bitcoin was probably going to get, stuck here. So there was no reason to rush. However, I think 7,600 is dead as support. I mean, it's over. we now have a lower intraday low than the prior low right here at 75.50 or thereabouts, 75.20. And this is Bitfinex, so adjust for your exchange accordingly. And also the upwards trend line, while may not be, absolutely perfect, and if I go back to the beginning of this trend line, I might adjust something a little bit so that it's in a slightly different area. But in general, this trend line is being broken. We are now on a 4 of 5. And at this point, unless something miraculous happens in the next 8 hours, I'm pretty much bearish. There is a 13 coming tomorrow, but there is already another 13 formed because of this 9. Okay, so this is already 1, 2, 3. Next candle would probably be a 4 if that's a 13, and then we go from there. So I'm pretty much convinced that we're going lower here. Like, I'm sorry, guys. This is not FUD. This is technical analysis. And if we close in the vicinity of 7,500, it's done. So I'm going to take an arrow as of tomorrow. I'm going to put it right below 7,500, and I'm going to draw it down. And I'm going to draw it down into the last low. I don't know how long it's going to take. Probably, I don't know if it's going to be swift or slow. I have no idea. I'm just going to guess on a timeline here. Well, okay, so let me not guess too much, right? So I am going to look for 5 days out, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So somewhere here is what I'm looking at. So what's today? Today is the 19th. So plus 5 days would be 24th. Okay. So I should make this arrow this thick. Okay. So I would look for a 9 on the 24th. Okay. Then I would look for some upside, probably to go back to 76, because 76 is still important. Then I am going to look back down to that same area. And then I'm going to look for a breakdown. Like that. Okay. Sorry. I mean, this is my outlook. I mean, there's nothing I can do here, right? I'm just reading the charts. Okay. That's my outlook right now. Just flip the chart upside down, right? Like, if you're not happy about this, flip it. Do BTC 1 over BTC USD, and you will see what I mean, right? So this is kind of what I'm looking at, and then guess what? I'm probably going to draw another arrow down from there, because it's just looking weak. It's looking very weak technically. Now, the RSI is about to go oversold, but that doesn't matter. It needs to come out of oversold in order to show any kind of bullish momentum. The MACD is as weak as it can be, with lots of room to potentially keep going down. If someone could give me anything bullish here for me to look at, well, no, actually, please don't. I probably won't look at it. But like, once we close below 7,600, and it's all looking like we will later today, I just don't see. I just don't see what can bounce it back up right now. All my daily and weekly is about to go bearish. Like, it's about to go bearish, right? That's the scary part. The scary part is weekly. This is, what is this? This is the $5,000 level, right? So maybe I'll extend the $5,000 level, but hey, I'm not expecting the $5,000 level to be all that meaningful these days. We'll talk more about that when it gets there, but yeah, that's right. I said when. So we'll see. We will see. get the camera back up. So that's kind of what I'm looking at weekly. And I don't have anybody doing questions today, so your questions are not being aggregated at the moment. I'll glance at the live chat in a minute. We got about 1,500 live viewers. That's it. I mean, we can go to the lower level time frames. So what is this? This is a 4-hour chart. The 4-hour chart gave you a combo 13, followed by a reversal candle, though I don't like, oh yeah, the 8 did go a little bit lower than the 7, so it is a clean, legit reversal candle, followed by a 9 with some upside. But, and even though, I mean, look, guys, I want to be like optimistic here, but like I'm just going to move these lines. Look, you had 2 lines here, right? You had the prior swing close, and the prior swing low. So Bitcoin made it lower. We broke below the prior swing close. We couldn't even have the strength to make it back above to the prior swing close at 78.50. I mean, this is just weak. It's weak. There's no buyer stepping up, none. Everyone's like waiting for low prices, maybe. No buyer stepping up. And look, we're falling, and we are on the verge of going below the combo 13 candles and the 9 candle. Again, this is insane weakness. Insane weakness here. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Not what I want. Why is that one coming up? There we go. This is very weak. Now, I would wait for a red 2 to start trading below a red 1, but when your red 1 candle goes down so much, you may have to admit you missed it, right? Like over here, your red 1 candle, the one was this. This was on the 14th. Your red 1 candle was very bad, and it happened to be on a sequential 13, and then the red 2 was a green candle, but it traded slightly below that. But remember, this was the second attempt to break the prior swing low. So on this 3 candle, it's over. So same situation could be here. Get a little bounce next candle, a little bit, and then boom, we go down. Just nothing positive. I see nothing positive here. What is this? This is the 12-hour chart. The 12-hour chart also gave you a sequential 13. Like I said, I like the aggressive 13s much better in Bitcoin, and the 12-hour has been very good with the 9s. You can see it here, here, and here because it has an arrow, so it started with a 9. And then you had a 9. Okay, sorry, I need to talk about dates for the audio podcast. So the 12-hour chart gave you a perfect 9 sell. It was beautiful on the 20th of February, a beautiful 9 buy on the 25th of February, a beautiful 9 sell on the 3rd of March at the high, and a nice swing buy from that high at the low on the 9th of March. And it was a double arrow with a 9 buy and an aggressive 13 buy. It didn't swing you much. It swung you for about 6 candles, giving you the illusion that we're going back up, but then it reversed. But it was at least a nice time to take profits from a potential short. And we got this 13, but look, the next candle, you immediately started trading lower, and that's not a reversal candle. To me, oh yeah, actually it is kind of a reversal candle, but we never traded back above it. You have to trade back above that candle for it to actually be a true reversal identification. This was the last 12-hour candle prior to current 12-hour candle. And now you're on a 7 of 13, you're on a 4 of 9, you're trading below your prior 13, you're working on another 13. There's absolutely nothing bullish in this chart that I see. We can look at an hour chart to close this out. But the hour chart will be totally irrelevant in this environment because Yeah, the hour chart is forming a base, and that means that it's ready to break to the downside. I see nothing bullish in the price of Bitcoin right now. Nothing. All right. That's it for me. I don't think I have anyone helping me with questions. Yeah, I got no one helping me with questions. So I'll glance at your live chat. I actually only have about 5 minutes because I got to jump on a call soon. What are your chances that whales will buy up more as the price goes down while we all sell? They'll wait for the price to rebound, most likely. It has to be really low. I can see an insane amount of whales coming in at around $2,000. Doesn't mean we have to go down that low. We can reverse from above 2,000, but whales will go in, right? But what's a whale? Like, I don't know what the definition of a whale is, guys, especially in the Bitcoin space. Like, is it a whale? Like, if I sell my New York City apartment and go all in on Bitcoin, am I a whale? I don't know. Though I still owe half the mortgage on this apartment, so it's not. So I'm not going to get all the money from the apartment, only half of it, right? And where am I going to live after that, right? Well, I do travel 10 months a year. All right, let me see here. Chat's scrolling fast. I know you don't like them, but falling wedges on a daily. I don't know what that means. I don't look at wedges, guys. Sorry. Did you invite Philicone yet, Tone? No, I have to look at his work. I have to find time to watch at least 5 to 7 hours of his videos before I even consider talking to someone. Like, I have to understand their work and I have to respect their work, right? Like at the moment, he's just someone that a lot of people talk about on Twitter as a chartist. Like, but I haven't seen any of his work, right? So I have to look at his work first. So no, I'm not going to invite someone whose work I'm unfamiliar with, unless that someone is an obvious scammer who I don't need to look at his work. I can just rip him apart as a scammer without doing any kind of research, but not in this case. Like I want to be able to ask intelligent questions. I can't ask intelligent questions if I don't do any research. Like, look at the Cliff High interview. That would have been terrible if I didn't read his reports. And that was like, 2 reports of like 35 pages. That wasn't like simple. And they're written in psychic format. So like you have to try to figure out what the hell is in them. Yeah, I also mentioned Haijin Lee, and I got a few text messages that pretty much convinced me that I should not be talking to that guy. So Haijin Lee's out. All right, what do we got? Yeah, don't forget the Def Cross. Don't forget the Def Cross on the daily. It's coming. It's definitely coming. Now, here's the thing, right? Normally, a perfect short trade on the Def Cross, and I talk about this in my presentations. The perfect trade off the Def Cross is when the price pulls into the cross. If the price is sitting at $7,000 when the cross happens, that's not the time to short, right? That's not how you trade the Def Cross, and I explained this in my videos, right? So here, Def Cross stocks images. Let me show you. Right, perfect example of how not to trade the Def Cross. Not to trade the Def Cross. You do not, under no circumstances, do you trade this Def Cross. No, this is though you will lose all your money, because look, the Def Cross happens when the price of your asset is unreasonably low under the Def Cross. This is how a trader loses all of his money. This is not how you trade the Def Cross. The way you trade the Def Cross, let me look for this is how you trade the Def Cross. This is how you trade the def cross. Let me see. Is the picture going to show up? Wish it was bigger. Can I? Let me zoom in. This is how you trade the def cross. The price has to bounce into the def cross, and then it gets pummeled. Okay, this is how you trade the def cross. All right. If someone is teaching you the def cross and they do not make this absolutely clear, that person has no idea what they're doing. Okay, you have to learn this like either the hard way or you need the right instructor. If your price is down here on the day of the def cross, like all the way below the def cross, you do not trade because you're gonna short using the def cross, and all you're gonna do is watch the price go all the way up and touch the moving average. Okay, you wanna. This is the perfect trade right there, right in it. The other option that you have in this situation is if the price gets squeezed between the averages like this. Like this is another example, but though a little bit closer. But the idea is your price gets squeezed in between the moving averages into the def cross, and then it collapses, right? So basically, the closer your price is to the def cross, the more critical it is, like this. That's how you want it. Okay, that's how you want it. So those are the only two tradable uses of the def cross, and not this. This is the worst case scenario. I hate seeing a def cross when the price has already corrected. So I don't want to repeat myself 8 times on this, but it's very, very important as a trader if you don't properly learn technical analysis. And the opposite of everything I just said for the golden cross. All right, let's move on. Someone says, see you in Miami. Thank you. Yeah, Miami seminar, April 28th, and there's a conference a couple of days earlier that I'm speaking at. All right, let's go back to this. Yeah, so my view is this, right? Like 7,600 has now been support for way too long. Once you form a base at 7,600, the only place for price to go at that point is down, because the buyers will not keep holding it up. Now, this doesn't have to happen every time, but I've seen it happen about 80 to 90% of the time, where I am 80 to 90% certain we're breaking down from here. Can I look at Ethereum? I looked at Ethereum last night. So you're, wow, beautiful. Excellent. I can't wait for every single person that did an ICO to lose all of their family's money. I just can't wait for that. I want them to have the most amount of misery. Like, I'm okay with most ICO pushers and creators not going to prison for creating unlicensed, unregistered securities and scamming people, as long as they lose all of their money and their family's money. Yeah, there's Ethereum for you. But Ethereum was way more obvious, right? Like I've been like, I started looking back at Ethereum again as of early February, and it was just starting its bearish trend. I'm expecting a lot. I'm expecting a huge drop in Ethereum. This may be the popping of the ICO bubble and the shitcoin bubble. Like, if Ethereum starts to go towards zero where it belongs, what happens to everything built on top of Ethereum? That entire house of cards starts to implode. You have to understand that. Yeah, so Ethereum is, I mean, again, right, here's the daily 6 of 9 with well, the 13's over. but you're on a 6 of 9. So that totally trumps it. This 13 did not do anything, and Ethereum is really going down. Weekly is a 5 of 9. So you got 4 more weeks of downside. B trash is going into the negative eventually. Oh, I don't even have my indicator on it. That's irrelevant. I mean, B trash does trade kind of inversely to Bitcoin. So if it's going down with Bitcoin, it's going to go down even more when Bitcoin reverses. So that's about it. I got to do a bunch. Oh, yeah, wait. I got a call coming up. I got to get off this thing. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a day. Final thoughts are bad. Everything's bad. Just be careful. There was a good question raised. Like, what's the point of like going short on something like BitMax? Because if you go short on BitMax, yeah, you've made a good trade, but you just made yourself more Bitcoin as the Bitcoin continues to fall in price. So your fiat value of your portfolio is actually going down while you're accumulating more Bitcoin. Well, if you believe in Bitcoin, then that's not a problem because it'll go back up. If you're just trading there to make more fiat, you got a problem. So you need to know what kind of trader you are. Is your life sustainable that you can survive without the price of Bitcoin going to $1,000 as you accumulate more and more Bitcoin, even though you're being fiat poorer? Or are you dependent on the price of Bitcoin being high? In which case, that's not the right strategy for you. Okay. All right. As usual, I will say that if you like my work and you like me to put out more videos that have some educational components, I definitely taught you about the Deaf Cross today. Please check out the affiliates and referral section of my website. This is a way you can support my work without it costing you anything extra. I mean, when you donate to me, you actually lose money. If you are going to use these products and you use my affiliate codes, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does help me out. So this is how you can support my work. So thank you. All right, I'm going to stop screen share, and I'll see you all later tonight for traditional markets. Okay, no Bitcoin tonight. I'm going to let this settle. Everyone's accusing me of FUD anyway, driving the price of Bitcoin lower. That's not true. It's going lower on its own. Doesn't need my help, clearly. And I will see you all on the next one, and bright and early in the morning with Leah and hopefully Giacomo. The comments have been turned off for my regular videos because I'm tired of dealing with the aggravation and all the scammers and all the spammers. All right, guys. Talk to you all on the next one.